Hello guys, welcome back to Fine Beauty Bible. We are getting ready for Valentine's Day today. I have two different looks for you. One is a daytime look that you're seeing right now, and then we have a more nighttime look to get into. Now before we even get into the makeup and into the lashes and hair, I like to make sure that my skin is exfoliated and looking and feeling fresh and hydrated for the next day. The Keys Be Luminous exfoliant, I love this one. It actually is in a powder form, so you put a little bit of this on your hand, you mix it in with your normal facial cleanser. It will actually use the enzyme powder in it to dissolve those dead skin cells from the surface of the skin, and this is one that you don't have to do the night before. Like, you can wake up in the morning and use this one if you're not, starting your get ready process a whole day prior like I do. Then for the body, my favorite exfoliant is by this brand called Skin Fix. This one is actually glycolic acid exfoliant for the body. So the way you use it is you actually rub it onto your body while your skin is still dry. Then you actually wet your hands a little bit in the faucet and massage it a little bit more so that you're doing the same motions, but the exfoliant is a little bit wet now. And you're gonna leave that on for a few minutes. So in the meantime, I usually will wash my face. Then you rinse it off. And when you rinse this off, you are going to feel so ridiculously soft. I'm telling you, you won't be able to believe it. This is one of the most underrated body scrubs you can use. There's so many body scrubs that people like, and I just want to scream about this one from the rooftops because this is what you need. This is the one that's gonna get your skin baby soft. Then when you get out of the shower, you're gonna be so nice and smooth. You're gonna wanna finish off with Glossier's Body Hero Oil. The reason I say this one in particular is because I love the texture of it. It's not gonna be too greasy, but also the smell. The smell is the perfect scent to use as a base layer for whatever fragrance you choose later on. And if you don't have this oil, you do wanna just find some sort of body lotion, some sort of body oil that has a scent that smells like you and the types of fragrances that you love, because that is going to be the perfect base for your fragrance. And then once you're out of the shower and whatnot, then we can hop into the makeup. Today, I need to start off with something that's going to make my makeup stay all day, not move around, not look messy. I'm actually going to use my Inkyless Snow Mushroom Moisturizer. And even though this is made as a skincare product, I find that it really holds my makeup very nicely. Especially those areas that the makeup tends to come off of very easily. I'm going in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Most times I don't care about these, but today I'm going to cover them because we're going for a very dolled up, complete look. So I'm not going for your skin but better today. Going in with another Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Cocoa, and I'm putting this on my eyes. Just one dab on each side. This is going to be sort of like my eye primer. And I dab it in with my fingers. Well, since this one is a daytime look, we're going to go in with a more light colored eyeshadow palette. You can either do my favorite. This is the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadow Palette. This is in the deep neutrals. And then another option you have is by Revolution Pro. And this one is a little bit less expensive, and it is their Ultimate Nudes palette. And this palette actually comes in multiple different shades. So depending on your skin tone, that would determine which one you choose. I obviously chose the one that is dark because these nudes will suit my skin tone better. And then for your nighttime look, I would suggest picking up an easy to use palette like Fenty's palette here. This is the Snap Shadow in the smoky option because it has a nice dark base options, some glitters, and even a few grays. Just to lay the base, we're actually going to do a very close to your natural eyelid shade. So for me, the color that's close to my natural eyelid would be something like this dark brown here. I also have the shade Tree Hugger from Sephora collection. Or if I'm choosing something from this nude palette, it would probably be this one here. So whatever eyeshadow you have in your own collection that's very close to the natural color of your eyelid, that's what you're going to apply right now. We're not going to do super technical eyeshadow styles here because I want this to be a very approachable tutorial. So yeah, you are just covering that eyelid with the shade that matches your eye. Don't pay attention too much to how you're applying it. Just keep it nice and low. Don't put it all the way from lash line to brow right now. You're just keeping it nice and low right on your actual eyelid, not even in the crease. Over here, rather than doing a color that's close to your natural eyelid shade, I'm actually going to go in with black. Depending on your skin tone, you might want to go in with a deep brown, a dark gray, just something a little bit smokier than your natural skin tone, but not too far off. Once that is laid, then you are going to actually take a shade that is slightly lighter than that brown. So for me, I'm probably going to go up to this little rustic brown shade. And you're going to dust it into the crease. Now I could go for a dark brown because I have black as my base, or I could warm it up a little bit with a more chocolatey brown, but I think I'm actually going to go in with this blush shade here, just so that it's not too dark in my eye area. I want it to look smoky, but I still want to look alive, you know? I'm actually going to take a little bit of this glittery shade that comes in my palette and use my ring finger, dab it into just the center of the eye as heavily as you can, so get it nice and pigmented. I'm going to go in with ColourPop's Super Shock Shadow in the shade Deck. A very metallic silver. Do you see how much came off? Do you see how we spent less than 5 minutes on that and it just already looks like a little bit of something? This is like one of my favorite fast eyeshadow looks to do when I want to just look like I put way more time into my eyeshadow than I actually did. Dark brown base, slightly lighter in the crease, pop a glitter shade in the middle. Then you're going to blend that out just on the edges. You're not blending completely over the shadow like that. You are just touching the edges so that it's not as harsh. If you want to make this more advanced, then that's up to you and your skill level, but right now we're moving right ahead to the Complexion product. You could go for a super matte foundation like Laura Mercier, or you can go for a more skin-like foundation with a natural finish like Pat McGrath. Okay, we have makeup on now, honey. This is not your tinted moisturizer kind of look. What's always important for me for Valentine's Day looks is that, yes, you have makeup on, but you don't look ridiculous. Around Halloween time, I saw this meme that was like, ladies, if you don't know what to be for Halloween, just do your birthday makeup. I was like, why the disrespect? So next we are applying our concealer as we usually do. Now when I do more of a beat look, rather than stopping my jawline concealer here, I actually will bring it all the way down to my mouth. And I'll be a little bit more heavy-handed with the concealer in this area here because I'm blending this out how I usually do. Don't forget, up to the hairline. And the highlight. If you didn't notice, I sort of blend both of them out halfway and then go back and forth to make sure that they're perfect. Now, something interesting that I do, I will actually also define this side of my cheek. So we're always so used to defining this part right here that we forget that there's also a front view to your face. So what you want to do is, you want to just take whatever's left on the brush still and actually define this part of your cheek. Do you see that little natural line that my mouth forms? You want to make right here darker so that it emphasizes the apple of your cheek even more. It will just lift your cheekbones very nicely. So I'm going to smile and dab the inner part right here. I defined here as well as here. Super important. It's like a lifting technique that I like to do. And then we're just going to finish blurring these lines out so they're not so harsh. Blend, 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 blend. We're gonna go down the middle. I go really carefully on this part because I don't want to spread the middle line too much. Almost like sweeping the concealer in towards the center of my nose. So I'm not like just going up and down like this, and I'm not going side to side like this. I'm sort of just dabbing the concealer so that I'm moving it back towards the middle. Okay, so I'd like to do these little side things here whenever I do half a pat down because I think it looks cute. Then I'm going in with my normal lip liner. What I do to give it more shape is I darken the corners. Now that we have our full face done, we're actually going to take a little bit of our Sephora Micro Smooth powder And we're gonna set our under eye before we finish our eyeshadow. And now I'm actually going back into my eyeshadow palette, and you see how there's this deeper purple here? We're gonna do a little bit of this and this, mix them together, and we're gonna apply that to our waterline. We're gonna go inner corner to the center. Don't worry about the outside yet. Once you see how that looks on you, if you like the way it looks, you can deepen it a little bit by adding a little bit of that brown color that you first laid on your eyeshadow earlier. My favorite highlighter is the Neon Photography Fluid. Just 1 drop is enough for both cheeks. That's it. That's it. You don't want to do more than that because it spreads very easily and you don't need a whole liquidy mess. So I'm going to take a nice little dome shaped brush like this and dab it, sort of flatten it out on my hand. And you see where that light naturally hits once I turn my face sideways? That's where I'm applying this. And I'm also applying a little bit of this to the top part of my lip, right in the center here between my eyes, like on my nose, above the brows right here and here, and a little bit on this bottom part of my jaw. Still using just that 1 drop that I applied onto my hand, okay? Once we dust that on, you don't want to go too crazy with the highlighter because as you go throughout the day, because it's a daytime look, your skin is going to start to, you know, get a little greasy anyway. It's not like you're taking this makeup off in an hour or 2. So you don't want to go too heavy on the highlighter right from the start because it will look crazy as the day goes on. Then we're just going to go in with our bronzer since we haven't done that yet. Notice how with this look, you already look good before the makeup is even halfway done. Like, everything else is just finishing touches, but those steps that you laid in the beginning, choosing the correct foundation, choosing the correct eye look, that is really what makes the look. Everything else that we're doing here, highlight, bronzer, under eye, eyeshadow, it's all just sort of enhancing those first products that we chose. So I like to go super, super bronzy and pretty if it's a daytime look. And I also like to bring my bronzer down to my mouth, same way I applied my highlighter. Then we're gonna do our blush. So we're gonna do this Burgundy by Rare Beauty, and then we're gonna supplement it with this Bubblegum Pink by Rare Beauty. And to keep the face looking snatched, rather than applying it right to the apples of my cheeks, I'm gonna keep it more towards the back half of that apple. So right here, if this is the apple, I'm applying it right behind it. And then for the pink, we're applying 1 dot in front and 1 dot behind, because the burgundy won't need much to show up, but the pink takes a little bit of effort to show up. And you want to make sure you don't go too round on the cheeks with it. You want to keep it in kind of a slender buffing movement. So it's going to look something like this when we blend out. For our nighttime look over here, I'm going to go in with a more brown blush instead, just so that it doesn't distract from our eyes and everything else we've got going on here. So this is the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush in the shade Rosé Latte. And we're going to go in with that. I love that. Now I'm going in with my Fenty Cream Gloss, and this is in the shade Fruit Snacks. Look how defined this cheek and jaw area looks because of the way we applied our products. I love it. It looks equally as snatched from the front because we also defined our cheeks underneath in the front view and not only focus on the sides. Good stuff, good stuff. So then I'm going in with my eyeliner. And I'm keeping it nice and small, not too heavy because I'm about to put lashes on. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Freeze to set my brows because you don't want these moving all over the place, making it look like you didn't put any effort into your makeup. I feel like most days the effortless thing is what we want. But on Valentine's Day, I don't know, I think it's kind of cute to, you know, look like you spent some time on yourself. And have fun with it and just like sit in the mirror for a long time in the morning and play with your makeup because that's what Valentine's Day is for. Feeling cute and done up, finding something nice to do with your friends or your boo. I need my brows done, so that part is not gonna look perfect on me, but it'll look great on you guys. Okay, so we're going in with the best setting spray, duh. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Spray. Woo, that brought our face to life, honey. And on this side over here, I actually want to show you what the nighttime look would look like with few different lip color options. We are actually going to try Fenty Beauty's brand new lipsticks, the Fenty Icon Semi-Matte Cream Lipstick. Might have to be the burgundy or the darker brown. I think those really set this off. I don't think this eye look needs red lipstick to me. Now I'm going to unclip my little bang here. Looks like a little tail. And slide this part back off. And this front part here, you can either bring it to the side and curl it to one side like this, or you can split it in two, which is one of my favorite hairstyles, and have a little bit on each side. Or I could do one side bang and then tuck it behind my ear so it looks like that. What do you guys think I should do? Let me know in the comments what you wish I did if I don't end up choosing the one you wanted. I am gonna curl this to one side. For lashes, I'm gonna be using this one by Kiss called My Lash But Better. And this is in the style So Real. So I'm gonna pop these on and then come back on camera to show you the final look. And this is our finished nighttime makeup look. I love the way this looks. Whenever I do a dramatic eye like this, I love to make sure that my foundation is not too matte, still looks a little bit skin-like, and then I just keep the look looking deep with a nice lip choice and the eye choice. That's what really makes it a night look rather than a daytime look. Because as you saw, a lot of our base techniques were the exact same. The main difference came in our eyeshadow choice, the finish of our foundation, and our lip choice. So now I'm having a hard time deciding which perfume I want to wear. Do I want to go with Tom Ford Black Orchid? Do I want to go with Carolina Herrera Good Girl? Let me know, what lipstick do you think matches this look? What perfume do you think matches this look? Let me know if you have any questions about any of the products that's on our little shopping list in the description box. I will catch you guys next week for a new episode of Brit's Recent Beauty, and as well as next month for a whole new season of Fine Beauty Bible.